Hey, what's up, folks? It's me, Christian, with your Thursday night update. I hope you guys are staying cool if you're living over here in Southern California, which is like basically the pit of hell right now. But like I don't know if it's just me, but like, has it been this fucking hot for the past 2 weeks? Like in California, like I know we're sending some records, but I remember just having maybe like 3 or 4 days of just like like maybe 99 plus degrees. But like it's literally going on to the second week of having this weather, and like I'm fucking over it. Like I go outside and I have like these headaches. You know what I mean? I get like super tired if I just go outside for a little bit. It's when you go outside, it's like stepping inside an oven, And like I don't know if you guys received the emergency text message this past week. Well, not past week, but a couple days ago. I think it was made like the yesterday. Um, California, the grid almost broke. The power grid almost broke this week because everybody was running their AC units. And what does that mean? What does the power grid mean if it goes out? Like we'll roll on blackouts, and the generators will explode. The the amount of resources it would take to repair them, and like the amount of time, and with this heat wave it would be a catastrophe. It would be apocalyptic, I would believe. So thank god we were on the cusp of it, but it didn't. We were okay right now, but like, so I know, like, I sound like a meteorologist, right? But this weekend we're finally going to be let loose from this heat wave. It's going to be like in the early 80s, I mean like the mid 80s, so it's going to be about 15 degrees lighter than it's been this past 2 weeks. And if you guys have been watching my past updates, you guys know that this past weekend, during Labor Day weekend on Sunday, I had my 20-year anniversary at high school. So I know you guys want to hear about it, and I want to talk about it because it was an experience, because I left high school 20 years ago, obviously. But like, I had this mental image of everybody was still like in their youth, like, and like walking in, everybody was like, of course we were adults, but like, okay, so I go with my buddy Christina. She picks me up, and we don't know what to expect. And like, we drove into the Marriott in La Mirada, and I saw somebody that I already recognized because she had the same face like that I remembered. And I saw Jocelyn walking to the front, and she saw me. She didn't recognize me, but when I walked into the double doors, um, walked through the double doors. I saw this older gentleman guy, like he was like this white guy, and he looked like a manager. Like he had like a scruffy hair, like gray hair, like wrinkles. Like he was like, he looked very mature, very I thought maybe he was like the manager of the event, as in like the Marriott. And he approached me and he shook my hand, like, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" And I said, "Oh, my name is Christian." "And what's your name?" And he said, "Sean." And I looked at him. I looked at his eyes, like, "Sean Page?" And then he's like, and he started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, Sean Page." Like, "Oh my god!" Like, I didn't recognize you. Like, I remember Sean Page like just a blonde hair boy. Like, fair skin. When I remember him, but now like he was full on adult. We're all pushing 40, close to 40, and it was just a trip watching seeing people there. And it was a dismal crowd. Like, I heard that 10-year high school reunion was more packed, it was more crazier, but this one was it was a lighter affair. And I was talking to different people that I remembered from the back of the day. And it was interesting. Like, it was like, what was what was weird about it, that everybody just had like just regular jobs. You know what I mean? Their jobs weren't like, didn't sound too exciting. Just like they just worked either like at a government job or office job. They were in management, what have you. And I remember I was talking to these. I remember in high school there was there's this group who was at the high school. They were part of a band. They came out with like an album. They were performing in backyard parties, and now they stopped being creative, and now they're just have those. We have the jobs. You know what I mean? We just wake up and do the 9 to 5, and that's it. And I felt a little sad because, like, where is that creativity? It's like, where are people? Like, they didn't mention their hobbies. And I just we was mostly like, I just figured out like what they were telling me what they were doing for the past 20 years. And yeah, just it was trippy. And like another thing that was funny about it is that Christina and me, we were chatting in on our table, and the music started playing and people were dancing on the dance floor, and Christina leaned in next to me, and she's like, like, hey, do you remember going, like, she told me, like, Christian, have you ever been to like a dive bar and the old timers when they hear like their music from high school and they start dancing in the dance floor, but like they start dancing like very like 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 rigidly, you know what I mean? There was like they just step back, two and four, you know what I mean? And then he's like, I told her, like, yeah, I remember, like, I remember seeing, the old timers when they listen like to like Blue Oyster Cult or like ELO come on and they start dancing. And it's like, that's us now. And like she pointed at the dance floor, and everybody was kind of like dancing like we had back problems. And I said, like, oh my God, I'm like, we're our parents now, but it was an interesting night. I got super hammered, which I wanted to. I got hammered because I wanted to. It's like, what does Art say? It is sad, a state of affairs. Yeah, well, it's what it is. What it is, what it is. We grow up and we stop creating, and we just start working. But yeah, but anyways, what was I gonna say? Like, yeah, like I did a lot of drinking. I stuck with the beer. I drank mostly beer, and then I ended the night with light beer because I had like the foresight. It's like, no, if I keep on drinking Modelo's, I'm gonna wake up really fucked up. But in the end, I still woke up pretty hungover and just hating my life. I was like, why did I do this to myself? And I told myself, I was like, well, you knew what you were gonna, you knew what was gonna happen. You knew the consequences, and you had to live with it. So it took me like the whole day, Monday, to get over. Like, even when as I was going to sleep Monday night, I was still like hung over, and I was just praying for Tuesday to come so I could just feel better. And even Tuesday, I still felt like a little nauseous, a little fucked up. And I can't party like that anymore. I can have like a few drinks, but like party to that extent, I can't. And what's like this Friday, tomorrow, I'm supposed to hang out with his my buddy Paul. He was from the class of 2003, and he's always supported me with my my creativity work, my creative side, like my writing and my films. And he hits me up from time to time, and he says, like, what, it's been a long time. Let's get some drinks together this week. And I told him, I was like, look, I got really hammered on the high school reunion. I can't fucking do that again. And he completely understood. He understood. He did not give me shit for it. It's like, you know what? Instead of going to the bar, let's go eat sushi. I'm like, oh, perfect, because like it's this perfect weather for sushi. It's light, fresh, and so we're gonna go eat sushi tomorrow and catch up because I haven't seen him since 2002. I mean, I follow him on Facebook, and we instant message each other. But as far as like connecting face to face, it's been 20 years. So I'm gonna have another reunion tomorrow with my pal Paul. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. Probably have like a couple of sake shots, but I'm not to the extent to what happened on Sunday. But Sunday was a good time, and supposedly it was the last time we're gonna have the high school reunion. However, there's this people were talking during the event that maybe like they're gonna set something up every year, every summer, just like a small thing, like at a dive bar, nothing like too fancy, going like to like having like dinner, like just basically we're meeting at a bar. And my buddy George, he's gonna set that up next June. He texted me like the day after the event. It's like, yeah, it was fun meeting, connecting with you, Chris. Let's do this again. We're gonna try to set up a thing next June at a dive bar. So I'm totally down for that. I'll dress in my Hawaiian shirts and come in with some shorts, and yeah, and do it all over again, I guess. But yeah, it was fun. I do not regret going. It was just a little strange seeing everybody growing up and having kids and just being adults. But anyways, moving on with that, let's see what else that's going on in my personal update. Well, on Saturday, my buddy Dina, she, because I have puppets, and she asked me, hey Chris, are you interested in doing like a puppet show for my niece? She's turning 3. And I was thinking, like, well, I do have the puppets, and I'm a little interested in like performing for kids. I'm like, I told her, like, look, just pay for my gas, because like the event is in Palmdale, which is like an hour and 20-minute drive. It's like, look, just pay for my gas. I'll do it for free, for some tacos. And I just want to test it. I want to see if I have like the chops to not only to perform but actually like put up with kids. Because like I don't know, like kids, like you want them to sit down and just like to watch you, but kids like at that age they're like they want to grab, they want to touch, they're disruptive, it's a party, you know what I mean? So who knows if I could keep their attention. I haven't, I'm so I told myself I was going to write a script for the show, but I haven't. I fucking lagged it. But I do have, I do know the jokes that I'm going to tell, like how I'm going to set it up. I'm gonna play it like a little loose, but I already know how I'm going to set it up. It's going to be like 30 minutes, I hope. I'm going to start with my main character, my main puppet, Carlos. Go on with Olivia, and then end it with my new puppet, Vic. And then just it's all going to be like birthday jokes, like little puns, like little kid jokes. And I'm gonna have Olivia like lip sing "It's My Party" and I want to cry if I want to. I think that's gonna fill 30 minutes, and I hope the kids enjoy it. And I'll let you guys know in my next update how it went, because I'm a little anxious about that too. I'm like, how am I gonna perform? I'm like, is everybody gonna look at me and say, who's this weirdo with the puppet? But I'm really excited for it because I've been wanting to do something like this, and I think this Dina invited me to perform for her niece is a good I guess hopefully a stepping stone. It might be a side hustle, who knows? Let's see if I perform well on Saturday, but I'll let you guys know how that went. But hey Joe, I hope you found a new car. Yeah, my friend Joe, his Kia broke after like he drove his car for 150,000 miles, which I think that's a pretty good run, man. Cars just they break down at that point. You know what I mean? So I hope you're able to find a new car. But yeah, and also let's say like go bowling. Oh, that's a good idea, Deb. Maybe like going bowling. But you know what? Not everybody likes bowling. But maybe I think billiards would probably be a good idea. If we do end up hanging out next year with the class, but who knows? But you know what? On a world update, the Queen Elizabeth II passed away today. She was 96. She died in her sleep. Now it's Prince Charles. He's the King of England now. And how old is, how I mean, it's a quick Google search to see how old Prince Charles is. He's probably like maybe like in the 70s, right? 70s, maybe like early 80s. He's fucking old. So his reign of king is going to be very light. Like Queen Elizabeth, she was queen since she was 25 years old. Can you believe that, being like a king or a queen that young? And just the amount of responsibilities that you have, just the weight of the monarch on your shoulders, and like just like you have to watch what you're doing, like as in like you can't, not like Prince Andrew where like he like with like what's called like the what's with that it's on the tip of my tongue. um uh that guy, Maxwell. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, like the amount of responsibility she has for being at such a young age to rule like the UK. It's quite remarkable, and it's. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, when is she going to pass away? Epstein. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Epstein. Yeah, like the scandal with Epstein. Like because I don't know if you guys heard about this, but like when the Queen had her, I don't know, like she had like this big party this year of she's like the longest reigning queen in England, and everybody in the monarch was like invited minus Prince Andrew because of the Epstein scandal. So yeah, she survived scandals, and a lot of people believe that uh, Queen Elizabeth is responsible for Princess Diana's death because of the whole conspiracy theories and all that. But yeah, I mean, you would have to live under a rock if you don't know about those conspiracy theories about Princess Diana. But yeah, it's literally an end of an era. And I knew it was going to happen in our generation because she was just old as hell. She was 96 years old, but God rest her soul. It's time for the new king. What's that saying? What's that old song? It's like "Meet the new boss," same as the old boss from the Who. It's basically going to be the same thing. Because like the kings, they don't really do anything. It's more like the prime ministers who rule the UK, right? They're more like the kings and queens are more like just like celebrities over there. They don't really do anything besides just show up for like the parades, just wave hi, and then that's it. um but yeah, on another update, let's see what else. Like I don't know. I've been watching these TikTok videos where there's been national like UFO reports in our country. Some in San Andreas and Santa Monica, and then in Texas. And you guys should totally get on TikTok because I watch these trippy ass videos. So like it's all like the people that captured the UFOs is the triangles. You know, the triangles with the lights. You know, one light on the top and then two on the bottom, and they're like, and it just zips by like really really quick. And you know, like of course you have to be a skeptic. It's like, oh, that's just like that's fake. But there's a group of people recording the same thing on their cell phones, and like it's not it's real. You know what I mean? And it's very strange, especially right now that we're seeing videos of UFOs are popping up more and more in the world. And I think it's because the way our the climate change, the world affair, like the geopolitics, and it's just basically they're watching the apes just fuck up everything like in this planet, and I think they're just getting concerned, the extraterrestrials of like how we're handling this planet. And I think that's what they're doing. They're just scoping us. They're scoping us out and seeing what we're doing. I think we're getting to this point where I hope they intervene with us at some point because we do. I believe we need some intervention because there's no way, like we can't take care of it. Like I'm a cynic. I don't think we could take care of it on our own. We need somebody, just shaking us like, what are you guys doing? Because right now you guys know it's not working out. But yeah, I don't know if you guys hear in the background, the beer, like the pops. John has his friends over here. We're watching Hocus Pocus because Hocus Pocus Part 2 is coming out September 30th. And Rachel, she's never watched the original Hocus Pocus. So we're having like a viewing party right now. And they're just chatting it up right now. So if you hear voices in the background and people drinking, it's, John and his friends. And I'm not drinking today because again, like I said, like I'm kind of like my stomach can't take it. I can't do that anymore. But yeah, like also today, before I get into the other Disney thing, that this week I also saw Beast starring I can't pronounce that guy's name, Israel Alba, but it was a fun movie. Like I would describe this as like Cujo meets Jurassic Park because you got this rabid lion, attacking humans, and the characters are trapped in the car for a little bit. But at the same time, it's kind of like Jurassic Park because, like, how in Jurassic Park, the T-Rex is the king of the jungle, like the lion is the king of their jungle. And if you pay attention to movies, if you know the structure of movies, like I already called out the ending when like the movie started, and like, oh, that's how the lion's gonna die. And sure enough, at the climax, that's how the lion, ended up getting killed. But it's a good popcorn movie if you want to escape the heat. If they're charging you $5, $7 to go watch a movie, in an AC room and some popcorn, it's a good popcorn movie. It's suspenseful. It's definitely like the type of movie where you're watching the kids and you're in the edge of your seat and you're saying to yourself, why the fuck did she get out of the fucking car? It's like, get it back in the fucking car. It's that type of movie where you start shouting at the screens like, what the fuck are you doing? Those movies are fun to watch. They're frustrating, but they're fun to watch. But I would check it out if there's nothing else interesting to watch in the theater, other than that. But I would recommend that movie. I would give it a C plus. Yeah. Let's see. On another movie, a movie that's coming out today is the new Pinocchio movie, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks as Geppetto. And you know what? I got the reviews already in, and they said, what did it say? There is not much. There's like this basically the movie's getting panned by critics. They said there's not much. There's no soul behind this wooden boy. I think that was like the tagline of like this one critic's review. But I'm gonna check it out. I still have a little bit of my reservations of like if it's gonna be a good movie because like these CGI movies, they're just they're based on the cartoon. The cartoon obviously is way better than the new movie. What new like what live action movie was better than the animated movie? I think this is like there's none, right? I think maybe like the Jungle Book was probably better than the animated movie, but I don't know. There is not one animated one live action movie that's better than the animated movie. But I'll check it out, and next week I'll give you my review on the Pinocchio movie. But what else has been going on around here? Um, I guess that's really it, man. Like we are on Spotify. If you haven't listened to my lovely voice enough, we have 44 hours of content on Spotify. So please follow us there. It'll help us grow our community. It'll get us out there. And like our last interview was with Paul Tully. He's the director of this movie called Replica, and it's starring Mickey Rourke. And it's a very inspirational conversation, and it's very good if you're a creative person, if you want to get into the film industry, or like if you want to get into writing. I think this episode will help you, like, nudge you in the right direction, because he said it's not really about like the numbers. It's really about like you creating something out of nowhere, and it's like the satisfaction of like having it, that you created it and you're seeing it. That's what matters. And if you have some small audience, that's good. But if you're just chasing like fame and money, you're just going to end up basically bitter. So it's a good conversation. It's a great conversation. I think you guys should check that out. But again, if you're watching me on Facebook and on YouTube, please remember to follow, subscribe, and smash that notification bell to catch our latest episodes of Casually Christian. And I'm trying to coordinate the next episode of Casually Christian. It's kind of tough right now because everybody's doing different things with their family and their friends. But as soon as I coordinate individuals to come on my show and get our topic going, I'll let you guys know right away. But as of right now, I'm still coordinated. But I guess that is it. I'm really appreciate you guys checking me out. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your night. Stay cool if you're over here in Southern California. And if you're watching anything new, please let me know because I'm running out of content to watch. Before I go, I did check out the Ring of Power, like the Lord of the Rings Ring of Power. It was pretty good. Like the beginning sequence of that show was fucking incredible. And there was only 2 episodes so far, and I think the next one drops tomorrow. I think if you're fans of the Lord of the Rings, you'll enjoy this new series on Amazon. I didn't see like any flaws to it. Like, dude, it's fucking beautiful for it being like a television show. It's fucking great. See, what time are you going to be at the swap meet? I'm going to be at the swap meet. Just check out on my webpage, my page, on my personal homepage. It's from 5 to 10. I'll be there at the swap meet. But yeah, if you guys love Lord of the Rings, it's gonna be a really good show. I didn't like the visually, it's just flawless, but we'll see where it goes. But all right, guys, that is my show. I'll see you guys next week. Stay cool, and I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, bye, guys.